The Three Little Piggies and the Really Rude Wolf. Once upon a time, there were three little piggies who used to live in the city but decided to move to the forest. And when they moved to the forest, they really were hoping that they could find some very nice and very respectful neighbors. And they were also hoping that they can find some very nice houses. So, when the piggies got to the forest, they stopped in the middle of this section of trees and they looked around and said, "Oh my goodness, no houses." Yeah, that was a problem. But the little piggies were pretty wise and pretty resourceful, and so they decided to make their own houses. Yeah, they decided to make dream houses for themselves. Now, somewhere nearby in this forest, there was a neighbor, but it wasn't a piggy neighbor, it was a wolf neighbor. And this wolf neighbor was one of the rudest wolves you could ever possibly meet. I mean, I've met a lot of wolves in my life, and this wolf was the rudest. His name is Wolfie. So the first little piggy found a nice place in the forest for building his house. And he decided to build his house out of straw. Not the kind of straws that you drink out of, but straw that looks like this. Oh, and he made quite a lovely house out of straw. It was great. The only problem was this house was empty. That's right, no furniture, no chairs, no kitchen. And so the piggy did what every little piggy does when he needs to buy things for his house. He went on Amazon and bought a bunch of stuff. Yeah. Now, as soon as that stuff was delivered, Piggy went into his house to get the rooms ready for all of his new things. Well, as soon as Piggy went into his house, out of the forest came Wolfie. And Wolfie saw those boxes sitting on Piggy's porch, and he decided to walk up to them and give them a big old sniff with his nose. Said Wolfie, "I smell furniture." Said Wolfie, "I smell pies." And Wolfie was right. Inside those boxes were pies. That's true because Piggy loved pies so much. He loved strawberry pies and peach pies and chocolate pies and banana pies and pumpkin pies and apple pies and every single pie that you could think of. Now, the smell of those pies made Wolfie feel very hungry. So he walked up to Piggy's door and he knocked on it. Little pig, I want some pie," said Wolfie. Now, the piggy inside the house was very used to people who had good manners. So when the Wolfie walked up to the house and just said, "I want some pie," Piggy was shocked. And Piggy said, "Oh my, Wolfie sounds so rude. He didn't even say hi." Well, Wolfie knocked on the door again. "I said, little pig, I want some pie." And Little Pig said, Wolfie, learn to say hi." Now, Wolfie did not like being told what to do, especially by a piggy. So, Wolfie had a thought in his brain, and it was a mischievous thought. So, you know what he did? That's right, he picked up those Amazon boxes and he put them in his pocket and he ran away. I can't believe it. And Piggy couldn't believe it. Wolfie just picked up those boxes that didn't even belong to him and he just skedaddled. Now, very nearby in the forest, the second little piggy was deciding to build his house. And he built his house out of wood. Oh my, it was such a cozy house. It had a fireplace inside of it and a big bookcase filled with lots of books. Oh, it was pretty much a perfect house. It was only missing one thing, and that thing was a fruit tree. So Piggy planted a fruit tree in his front yard. In fact, it was an apple tree. And in his backyard, he planted other trees too, like peaches and apricots and guayabas and all other kinds of fruit trees. Oh my goodness, he could not wait to eat that fruit. So Piggy went inside of his house to go get ready to eat lots and lots of fruit. Well, wouldn't you know it, as soon as Piggy went into his house, out of the forest came scampering Wolfie. And Wolfie walked right up to the house and noticed that apple tree right away. Ooh, I'm gonna get me some apples, said Wolfie. So he walked up to Piggy's door and he gave it a knock. Little pig, give me fruit from your trees. Now, the little pig inside the house was very used to people who had wonderful manners. So when he heard the wolf say, "Give me fruit from your trees," he was so shocked. Said little piggy, "That Wolfie sounds terribly rude. He didn't even say hi. He didn't even say please." Well, Wolfie knocked on the door again. Little pig, give me fruit from your trees." And little pig said, "Wolfie, Wolfie, learn to say please." Now, you and I both know that Wolfie did not like being told what to do. So you know what he did? I bet you won't believe it. He pulled a shovel right out of his pocket and he dug up that apple tree and he shoved that apple tree in his pocket and he ran away. Amazing. Unbelievable. Now Wolfie has taken two things from the piggies. First, the Amazon boxes filled with pies, and now a fruit tree from the front yard. Oh no, this is shaping up to be a terrible story. Now the third piggy, somewhere deep in the forest, decided to build his house. And he built his house out of bricks because, my oh my, he wanted a very fancy place to live. I mean, this brick house had 2 stories with stairs and a ton of bookcases and gaming system and a pool in the backyard and a few bunk beds and just lots of fancy things. But this piggy was missing one very important thing in order to have a very luxurious house. And you know what that thing was? It was a big screen TV. Yeah, that's right, because this piggy loved to watch things on television, especially nature shows. Like shows with birds and lions and tigers and bears and things like that. So Piggy went into his house and he took his big screen TV with him. And as soon as he did that, yeah, you guessed it, Wolfie came along. And Wolfie saw that big fancy house, and he had already heard that the big piggy had ordered a big screen TV. So he walked straight up to the door and knocked on that door really loudly. Little pig, I want to watch a movie. Oh my goodness. Now, this pig was also very used to people who had wonderful manners. So when he heard the wolf, he was shocked. And he said, "Oh my, Wolfie sounds terribly rude. He did not even say hi. He did not even say please. He did not even say, please come in. He didn't even say you're well. He said nothing. He's got no manners." Now, Wolfie was still standing outside the house, so he knocked on the door again. Little pig, little pig. But as soon as he started saying that, Wolfie felt a very strange, bubbly feeling inside of his tummy. And that bubbly feeling moved up to his throat. And then that bubbly feeling moved up to his mouth. And then Wolfie said, "Burp." It was the biggest burp you've ever heard. And he was burping because he'd been eating way too many pies and way too much fruit. But he knocked on the door again. He was a stubborn piggy. Little pig, burp. Little pig, burp. I want to watch a movie, burp. And little pig said, "Wolfie, Wolfie, learn to say excuse me." Now, Wolfie did not like being told what to do. So he started to get very angry. And he was even thinking about knocking down the piggy's door. But then a thought came to Wolfie. And Wolfie thought, you know what? I have a lot of pies. And I have a lot of fruit. And And I have a lot of other things, but I don't have any friends. It would be great to have some friends. Thought Wolfie. What can I do? What can I? Oh, you know what? Maybe I need to learn how to say hi. Maybe I need to learn how to say please and thank you and you're welcome. And maybe I should even learn how to say excuse me when I burp. Yeah, yeah, you know what? It's not so hard to learn to say please. It's not so hard to say. It's not so hard to do. I guess I better learn so I won't be really rude. And then Wolfie started doing something that he had never done in his entire life. He started to sing. Yeah, he started to sing really loudly. Respect, that is what it means to me, sang Wolfie. Oh my gosh. And the more he sang, the more he wanted to sing. And his singing got louder and happier. Respect, that is what it means to me, said Wolfie. And then he sang it even louder. Respect, that is what it means to me, said Wolfie. And he sang so loud that the trees around him started to shake and rattle and even dance a little bit. Now, of course, if the trees could hear the music, so could the piggies living in the forest. So all three piggies popped out of their houses and went to go see the wolf and said, Wolfie, were you just singing about respect? Because I heard you sing Respect, and that spells respect. And the Wolfie said, you know what? You're right. I'm singing about respect. And the piggy said, Wolfie, say hi. And Wolfie said, hi, piggies. And the piggy said, Wolfie, how about say please? And Wolfie said, please, piggies. And the piggy said, hey, Wolfie, if you burp, can you say excuse me? And Wolfie said, burp, excuse me. And the piggy said, wow, Wolfie, you really learned about respect. And so the piggies went into the third piggy's glorious, luxurious house, and they ate a lot of pie together with the Wolfie, and they ate a bunch of fruit together with Wolfie, and they even watched some wonderful movies on Netflix about lion cubs and things like that. They had a great afternoon because it's always a celebration when you learn respect. Respect, that is what it means to me. Respect, respect. Respect, that is what it means to me. Respect, respect. The end.